How's an incredible 3-night stay in Queenstown for two sound? Try out Kia's Footy Survivor. Pick a winning AFL and NRL side each week and you could win.
Sign up for Kia's Footy Survivor before August 12 at sensurvivor.com.au.
You're listening to Trot's Life on SEN Track with Toby McKinnon. Brought to you by Garrard's Horse and Hound. Best range at the lowest prices.
It's early Crow time with Benny Crow. And Benny, before we get any further, can some people in New South Wales just focus on driving trains and stop putting up stuff on Twitter, please?
He's a pest, isn't he?
He's a pest,
but it is.
isn't he?
But and is this right? We've got Brett Carroll in the studio today.
Good morning, Ben. How are we going? It's an honour and a privilege to talk to the most successful punter in the Northern Rivers region of New South Wales.
Well, there can't be too many good ones here, if that's the case.
Hey, Ben, because I knew you were going to be on today, I thought, you know what I'll do? I'll put a challenge up for Ben. I'm going to run into the studio today because they don't pay me enough to forego my daily exercise routines. So I ran into the studio quite a long way.
How far?
17, 18 Ks or something.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I thought, you know what? I'll get Ben to run to his studio to match me.
I did.
You did?
I'm lucky to drive 17, let alone run 17 Ks. And do you get paid, do you? Because that's news to me.
No, they don't pay me, so I'm not going to forego my exercise.
Right. Fair
Oh,
enough.
sorry. You're never going to let $1 go by, are you? Good on you, Ben. Come on, mate.
I need it after the last 2 weeks.
I'm hungover just thinking about how much alcohol you would have drank up there.
Oh,
mate.
I don't even want to. Look, I'm going on some huge sort of detox, but had a good weekend up there. Fortnight. If you've never been,
How do you measure time up there, Ben? Oh, yeah.
you just look at what time your plane left and what time it comes back. That's about the only way.
Now,
But if you've never been there to Darwin or B even for the Cup, it's a fantastic time up there, and there's a lot of good people you meet up there, and everyone's just having a good time, and can't recommend it enough.
now, is there any truth in the rumour that you opened up the fields this morning, you had a look and you said, geez, these are the biggest fields I've ever seen at Hamilton. You blinked your eyes really hard a couple of times, you looked again and you realised they weren't that big and you were just seeing double still.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. But I reckon I've found 4 races that I don't mind. Look, I've had I've had a bet in the last couple of weeks on the trot, but not quite as intense as it usually has.
So you looking
Consider myself a bit of a Darwin dogs and Darwin Gallops expert these days.
Are you looking at Hamilton, Ben?
I'm looking at Hamilton.
Cool.
Mildura's not my go, as you know.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't done a lot of
I've
work
got
on Mildura.
4.
I've done a bit of work on Hamilton, so I'll try and be contrary to every opinion you have.
Well, I'd like to see your opinion because you're the man that matters most in Victorian racing, apparently.
Now, we've got Stevie Blacker due to come on in about 10 minutes, so if we can, sorry to give you the hurry up, Ben, but if we can just get through them in 4 or 5 minutes, that would be ideal.
That's all right. I hear that very often, so that's okay. I don't mind race 1.
Race 1, number...
I don't mind race 1. Number 6, Chelsaver Angel. Had a little bit of time for this horse. I thought it was going okay. Probably a bit disappointing when it led last time, but it was the first time that it had led, so we might see it driven a bit off the speed again here. I thought 230, 240. Look, it opened a bit longer than that, but I still think that's okay value. I think it looks like the best horse in the race without knowing too much about the first starters there, but... I just thought that was reasonable value in race 1, number 6, Chelsaver Angel.
I know a bit about the 2, but I'm not telling. And the 6, I do know they were dealing with something that they thought was an issue, but it's not an issue, and they're very happy with that. And I think they expect her to go better than she probably ever has today.
Brett, any opinions?
Oh, I think it's a legitimate chance for sure. But, yeah, it has been a little bit up and down, but... I'm just not sure who's going to lead in that race. Ellie Joe is pretty quick, but I think it'd probably hand up to Chelsaver Angel. So, and I don't mind Zwick as a horse, first up from a trialled okay. So I'll be staying out, but you're definitely on the right track. Yeah.
I'm going to race 3. I thought number 3, Sport Dreamer. Looks the leader to mine. It's no star, but I don't think there's any stars here. Our Down Under Mac went pretty well last time to break its maiden. Flaming Lucky is going to get the nice sit on it. But Cold Hard Facts are it's 4 from 96. I know it was, fairly similar run to it last time. Sport Dreamer had to come wide. Flaming Lucky's got all the ground on the pegs. Could be the go again here. I know Sport Dreamer got run down a couple of starts ago, but I think it's the right form lines and around $4. As you know, I don't tip them to win. I'm tipping them more around the value, and I think it probably wins this more than what those percentages suggest.
Yeah, it's a good call, Ben. It's definitely a chance. I haven't mapped it leading. I've mapped it exactly as you say, with Flaming Lucky sitting behind it, which I've made my best bet of the day. Not trying to contrary to you, but I just thought he'll be in the spot, and I think he'll get up the lane. Obviously, he ended under Mark 1 last start, but he took a while to win a race. So I thought, well, I'm happy to take him on to win 2 in a row, sort of thing. But I thought, yes, that's the map, and I think one of us will win.
I think one of those will win, and I think sort of at the $4 mark, I think that I'm happy to be on the leader rather than the one chasing it down at the shorter odds. That's my view.
Yeah, of course.
I'll go the 4 Shady Credit Little Each Way. It was driven upside down last start. I think it'll be driven a bit different today. Might work across the chair, hand up to something, get some cover, and it'll be the one that'll be too good. So Brett's on the one.
Then we can red pen 3 of the horses there. No worries.
1, 3, and 4. If you're having a bet at home, you can put a red pen through those 3. So that'll be interesting to see who wins that race. It could be some Twitter going on around that time, I would say. Next one, mate.
I'm going to race 5, and I'm going to suggest 2 horses here. Number 3, Missy Deo. Number 10, SP Supreme. Again, I'm looking for the leader here, and I thought Missy Deo around the $5-6 mark. I know 2100 probably isn't its go, but it's 2100 probably isn't many of the horses go here, to be honest. And if you go back 4 starts, it did manage to get the lead there at Yarra Valley and won fairly convincingly. It's been okay since without being fantastic. Again, I just was happy to be on something around $5 or $6 leading. Number 10, SP Supreme. Best run for ages, or maybe even for a long time there last time at Melton. In what looks probably a touch better race, in my opinion. Look, it was a soft 4 pegs run, but it was dragged back and back and back until the home turn, and it just never looked like it was going to get out. Once it did, it flew home. It's got a little bit of ability, this horse. I know it from being in New South Wales. There are no stars in this race. I couldn't get Ted Kane down as short as it is at the $2.30 mark. I know it was pretty unlucky and probably a better race last time. But prior to that, it looks like it was similar type form lines to this sort of race. So I would have thought it was more like a 2-1, 5-2 chance. So again, at the value, I'm going to go on the leader, number 3, Missy Deo, which I think is going to lead. And then maybe if there is a little bit of war up front or something, the one that might be able to run over the top of him in SP Supreme.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's a very tricky race, and you've summed it up quite well, Ben. I thought Ted Kane was probably more of a $3 chance, even though it has been unlucky. Missy Deo, I'm mapping it sitting behind Nevada Yankee, which was a bit plain in its win last time. So it's a very even race, and you're right, SP Supreme has taken a long time to show its ability, but maybe it's getting there. Ainsworth Stable's going quite well.
Yeah, I just thought they were a couple of value. You're not going to go to breaking $6 and $10 shots in a race, so I thought they were some sort of value.
Absolutely.
Race 8?
Race 8.
Yep.
I'm going to go to race 8.
Oh, I've got some intel on this race, some big intel.
Here we go.
All right. Well, I'm looking at number 8, Isolation, a place, or maybe even just a little, one by 4 or 5 each way type number. Number 1, Sea Lover, obviously, is really nearing a victory, and it's $1.90. Looks like it's right price for mine. I did manage to back Isolation 5 starts ago when it come off a hot, not a hot pace, but it was like a sit sprint type number. I think that's its go. I think Isolation, a sit sprint type horse, should be drawn perfectly here to be behind leader, or even 3 pegs if for something doesn't happen there that doesn't look like it.
So do you think Isolation will keep up? I haven't really studied its map speed that well.
Well, it may not, but if it's 3 pegs, even 2 starts ago at 3 pegs, at Shepparton there, managed to get beat 1.5 metres behind Matamia, which looks good enough form.
It's a really nice horse. I really like it.
Mate, so Isolation's part owned by my brother.
Yes.
Sea Lover's even money to score up.
Yeah.
For starters.
That's true.
Which changes the whole complexion of the race if it doesn't.
But Drew Barry won 3 starts ago and it failed to score up.
Yeah. It's a high maintenance horse. Isolation goes well, but the best horse in this race is number 9, Prickle Patch. He may not be the best horse yet, But at the end of all these horses' careers, I reckon Prickle Patch will be the best horse. David Sweetman, he goes very nicely, trialled very well at Terang. He went to Horsham first up, ran third. He was a long, long way back, and Mick Bellman gave him an education run. He wins last start. I think he is going to go if you made me guess, I'd say he'll get to 70s in ratings, and I think Isolation will get to mid-60s.
Well,
yeah.
See, I couldn't have the 9 today, just on what I've seen. Doesn't mean anything whatsoever. I thought
it's a tricky race.
Storm
The map is really tricky here, Ben, because as you said
tricky.
we don't know what the one. If he scores up and leads, okay, he's going to be very hard to beat. But there's so much speed with the Miss Gabrielle Kane and Silver Domino. So
has been quite a bit of money early
as well.
for number one.
Yes.
Has been a bit of money early from number one, which,
if it
not that I take notice of wanting to back it because of that notice, but it could suggest that it might have the ability to do that. I think the Vapor Storm, $19-ish, is slightly overs in the race as well. I just think if Isolation managed to find a decent spot early, which it should from there, I think that the $2.10 or whatever it is on offer, I think it runs a place more than 1 in 2 times.
It's certainly got to win soon.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with Stevie Blacker and we'll chat to him about who I think is the best bet of the day at Hamilton, Kolovos.
See you, Ben.